Saugus High School Class of 1918 just completed their 4 years of education. The essays and poems written by several students found in their yearbook gives the reader a glimpse into their hearts and minds at the time. Their words were full of love and respect for their God and their country. This was a time in America when people walked everywhere or took a streetcar. Many lived in 3-generation homes, mainly because Social Security didn't exist for the elderly and infirm. Families were large in number. Manufacturing workers averaged 55 hours a week. And, according to the census, the average income for a male was $800 per year, and a majority of the breadwinners were farmers. Only 8% of the country had telephones. Very few owned refrigerators, and almost no one owned a radio. The 47 graduates of Saugus High School represented 6% of America's population that received that goal. Yet, at the time they received their diplomas, dark clouds loomed over their country.
When World War I broke out throughout Europe, on July 28, 1914, 47 high school graduates were entering their freshman year, and many of the students were first-generation Americans. While they were settling into their new school that was built in 1906, the United States was keeping a watchful eye on the events happening across the sea. With every unprovoked attack on our country, tension grew, and Americans could no longer be still. Our graduates had now just ended their junior year. Once war was declared, many Americans at home took up the fight as well. The enlistment office was overrun with volunteers. Several Saugus classmates left school and joined the service, shipping off to France, and even a few female teachers resigned to join the newly organized Red Cross. Students at every grade level bought war bonds, graciously accepted food rationing to provide for the soldiers over there, and went without many commonplace items, all for the war effort. It could be said that almost every American went to war in one way or another. One student, Winslow Hodgson, left school in his junior year to join the Army. He was wounded in France on May 16, 1918, and died on June 16, 1918, just 11 days before he would have graduated with his class. He was 18 years old and was the first World War I soldier from Saugus to be killed in action. The Spirit of America as Represented in Literature by Edna Trigg. As this present-day war is the uppermost topic in our minds, I think we should know for what our country is fighting. Our country is not fighting for the possession of any land, but for the upholding of her principles, justice, peace, and liberty. This spirit of America is represented in her literature from the beginning. Our liberty began with the Declaration of Independence on July 4, 1776. Thomas Jefferson wrote into that,
"We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That, to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed."
This declaration of the fact that every man has an equal right with every other man to his own life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness has served as an ideal to inspire some of the best things in our literature. The greatest orators of that time spoke mainly on justice and freedom, both national and domestic. In 1775, Patrick Henry, speaking before a Virginian convention of delegates, says,
"Why stand we here idle? What is it that gentlemen wish? What would they have? If life so dear or peace so sweet as it to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery, forbid it, Almighty God. I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death."
My name is Roger Atherton. I was born on November 17, 1901 in Saugus, Massachusetts on 53 Lincoln Avenue. My father, Horace H. Atherton, Jr., prepared the history of Saugus for the centenary celebration held on July 3rd, 4th, and 5th, 1915. My mother's name is Edith Elizabeth Hall, and both of my parents were born in Canada. In the class will, we, William Goldberg and Harry Lipson, leave our bright-colored neckties to William London, Charles Burnham, and William Johnson, hoping they will strive to brighten the corners as we have done. Class gifts. A is for Atherton. I give you this tie, in hopes its bright color may catch a girl's eye.
My name is Madeline Gaylor. I was born in Saugus, Massachusetts, 1902, at 49 Essex Street to Earl and May V. Gaylor. My father is a bank clerk. I am the oldest child of 4 siblings: Burl, Earl Jr., Leland C., Bernice, and Melba. In the class will, I, Madeline Gaylor, leave my fondness for bringing stray kittens into the school to any person who is willing to suffer the consequences. For my class gift, G is for Gaylor. This fork, full of tune, will assist you along on your trip to the moon.
In closing, the class of 1918 issued some parting shots. We give and bequeath to the class of 1919 our seats in room 8, provided they can obtain and live up to a reputation as good as ours and can hold down the seats as well as we have done. We leave to the class of 1920 all of our scraps of paper, of which there is a surplus, since the note-writing law went into effect trusting the aforesaid law will not be enforced during the coming year. We, the members of the chemistry class, leave to the incoming class a can of Dutch cleanser, hoping they will make good use of it. To the junior high, we leave our brilliancy and best wishes for the future. The juniors we love, since they're all full of pep, and we must give them whatever they choose. They must have something still into which they may step, so we donate them gladly our shoes. On behalf of our class, we nominate our principal and teacher, Charles L. Smith, to be the executor of this, our last will and testament. Signed, sealed, declared, and published by the said class of 1918 in the presence of each other and subscribing our names as witnesses hereto.